Welcome to the Pastors Academy podcast, and this is Reverend Kevin Knox. Today we continue with our interview with Pastor Don Meadows. Here's a soundbite from the interview. What do you know now about your ministry that you wish you had learned sooner?
Ministry is measured in inches, not miles. That's one thing that I would probably say is, and it's very hard on someone like me who is very driven. So we expect things to change quickly. We expect people to get on board. We expect things to happen. Now, there are things I think God uses to expedite ministry, like in which we're living. I think social media and a social presence for churches who didn't have that before, or their live stream, this whole COVID thing has expedited that process, and people have been open to change much more now than they have been in the past because their whole lives are turned upside down. So there's a sense of, okay, let's strike while the iron's hot. People are used to change, so let's move this forward a little bit more. But normally, I think in the everyday life, ministry is measured in inches. And my mentor said he used to go to the copier to watch things start and finish. He called it copier therapy because he could actually see something take place and finish. The other thing that I wish I would have learned sooner was, ministry is not necessarily about my vision. It's about people. Driven personalities tend to miss that.
So I don't understand that. So unpack that a little bit more for me, if you would. Not your vision, but about people.
Well, people are the ministry. I mean, that's not a cliche. That's a truth, and a lot of times I'll just say me, I'll just keep it in my wheelhouse. I'm very driven, so it's all about what's next, what the plan is, what the strategy is, taking care of the vision. But there were times in my ministry where I missed the people. It wasn't about checking off a box or hitting a goal or taking out an action step. It was just about sitting with people. I missed that. And first part of my ministry, you could tell on Sunday morning, I knew what was about to happen. I knew the flow chart of the service. And I'm thinking, okay, this is supposed to be happening. I'm looking around, it's not happening. I'm getting aggravated, it's not happening. It could be because somebody's having a bad morning. And as a pastor, I should have picked up on that. My ministry is to that person, not to make sure that there's no dead space in between the different segments of the worship service. And, does it matter that the goal has not been hit this month if I've got a couple of team leaders who are suffering? No, it doesn't matter. We need to push and do what God's called us to do. But I just missed early on in my ministry. Thank God I've been able to learn that people are the ministry. And my ministry took a big turn when I went to visit a homebound lady, a shut-in.
Okay.
She was well into her 80s, and she would tell me about what she was experiencing. And I walked away from that visit with the definition of what it means to get older. I can simply sum it up in one word: loss. She lost her mate. She lost her mobility. She was losing her health. She lost her driving privileges. She was losing friends. And I learned that God used that one in that moment to help me understand that ministry is about people. If it was just about making sure that I made that visit that week, I would have missed that. I would have just missed that woman's plea. I would have just missed her heart. And by the grace of God, I was able to see that, and that changed my whole ministry. It's about people now.
Well, now that you explained it, I certainly understand a lot clearer. And it made me think that what I've heard is that most of Jesus' ministry with people is when he was on a journey to go someplace. Mm-hmm. So like he had a goal to go someplace, but he was always being tugged on, pulled at. Yep. Come over here, do this, touching his cloak. So it's those little interruptions sometimes is the real ministry sometimes that we're called to do.
Yep.
So exactly the people. Right. Thank you for listening. Join us tomorrow as Pastor Don shares with us what it's like to try to be yourself in a world of rock stars. See you then.